Then this house, a house even smaller than the one I told you about, well, about the same size, had one main room and two very, very small rooms with bunk beds. Lived a widow. She was about 58 years old. Her daughter died when she was about 26 from cancer. The father, her husband, had ran away. He left the kids. So as often, very often happens in Mexico, Grandma was left raising the kids. She had 6 or 7 kids in this very, very small house. Some of them slept on the floor. I can't even begin to explain to you what their house looked like. But it was an incredible visit, and while Sammy and them were talking, the kids and I went out in the street, and just like right out of a movie scene or picture, they were playing soccer. I didn't understand them, they didn't understand me. We were kicking the ball at first, and one of the kids who he said, he was he's trying to make something. And I finally figured out, I think he wants to play a game. So I went and set up little goals on my end. He said, see. He went and set up his on his end, and we teamed up as me and him against a couple of brothers and sisters, and we played and had a great time. And I knew how to count, so I say, Trace uno. And he smiled, and we did that, and give 5. And I thought, maybe it's just a fluke. Maybe it's just Sammy brought me to the family that's struggling. While I was there, a woman came by to visit, who was about 75. She nearly died because she couldn't get to the doctor because she had bronchitis. She luckily got medicine for some time. But then in walked this beautiful teenage girl. And Sammy was telling me, well, this is her daughter, her granddaughter. Both of her parents left her. And so now she was raising her. That's an ongoing theme in Mexico and all across these parts of the world. That's not me driving, but that's where, before I took off, what I love about Mexico is you can drive on the road, you can go however fast you want, you can use your signals if you want, you can stop at the stoplight if you want to, it doesn't matter. If you want to drive on the main road, you can. If you want to drive on the side where the dirt is, you can go around the signs and the dogs, that's fine too. Anything goes. I love that. Alright, this is just one quick funny thing. This is where the Americans had settled. And anytime you see Americans settling and retiring, you see the Office Depot, the Walmart, the malls going up. The story I was told, and I don't have it all right, but before they built the building, Office Depot they bought the land. But the problem is that you can, and I understand squatting, and squatters' rights completely are different, but they had to have somebody sit there, and literally they told me for about 2 months before they could really get construction going, they had to have a man sit about right where the doors are in a fold-up chair. And he was a squatter to protect the land. That was his job, to sit there on a fold-up chair just to protect the land. This is the guy that's right out at the mall. We went crazy, went to the Dairy Queen and to Walmart. When I was asked what kind of drink I should get at Dairy Queen, they said, get a mango chilito. Okay, sounds good. I forgot that I don't like mangoes, and I didn't realize that chilito is just chili. It's a mango something with chili powder on top. It was awful. I tried to be polite, and I stirred it up, and I held my hand around to pretend that I drank it all, and I threw it away. Never get a mango chilito unless you love mangoes and chili powder. There's some interns again, having fun.
Where are the interns
From everywhere. Wherever they come from.
from?
They are interning like during the summer if they're in like a Bible college or something. For example, this is Jace. He is in college. It's this what he does in summer. He lives somewhere in California. Josue, he grew up in Mexico. He moved to California for high school for about 4 or 5 years. And then he said, I came back home, and I said, why? He says, I know my family and my people need me. So they're from everywhere. There's some of them who are from Kentucky, and I don't know how they found out about the place, but they found out and they would come. Once again, more greenhouses. 4-wheel drive. This is heading out to Bufadora, La Bufadora, which is a shopping mall, an outdoor vending place, and also a beach. And there's the street going down. Very neat thing, the ocean comes right up, and at this part, it's not the nice sandy beaches, it's the rocks. And there's this really cool cave. Somehow the water washes in just right, suddenly it blows up and splashes out. And that's the overview of it. But you'll see what happens, the water blows up and shoots out. And when you really get a good one, it blows up in front of your face, probably 60, 70 feet up. Amazing. That's the group from Northside Community Church. They were wonderful people and just welcomed me in as I was their own. Role reversal. We were down there, of course, there was a guy who was willing to do mariachi for so many pesos. I asked him if I paid him, I said, I'll give you that. They make a deal. I'll give you 100 pesos if you allow me to sing to you. And so we got to know him and talked and made friends with him. And I sang him a song. That's Sydney and Katie with me. Every now and then when the waters shoot up, you see a rainbow. And I was reminded in the Old Testament that that's a sign of God's promise that God will not forget us. This is some nice scenery going back to Maniadero, which is the village where the mission center is. We went to the beach, and this is Jen from the mission group. Apparently the only beaches they have in Washington are the big rocky ones. Literally, she shot out of the van before it was even done stopping and was out on the beach. Beach time. Beach snack. As it turns out, these huge, they're about this big, these jellyfish wash up during high tide. And they're about that far around, and their stingers are probably about 4 feet long. I thought it'd be a good snack. I didn't eat it. And I got a henna tattoo. I tried to fool Lisa into thinking it was real. It was a nice skull with flames on it. But Lisa knew that it would be a tattoo. This is Poblano's Taco. This is a very typical place to eat in the village. This is real Mexican food. This is the good stuff. That's what Mexican food is. Flexico, I told Colby and Mandy, I said one of the things I learned in Mexico is that literally time, for them, personal relationships matter more than time. So if I'm out visiting with Peggy, and I say, well, I got to be somewhere at 1, and if it's 5 minutes to 1, but we're still in the middle of an important conversation, whatever I'm doing next can wait. So it's called Flexico. Everything's flexible there. Last thing I want to show you is the Oasis Boys Home, which is about 25 minutes away from the mission center, out in the middle of nowhere. And the Oasis Boys Home is a home for boys, I think 10 to 18, who are either A, this is their last stop before being permanently put in jail for stealing, kids who are addicted to drugs and alcohol, 10-year-olds addicted to drugs and alcohol, all across Mexico. It's also a place for kids who have just been abandoned. Parents just said, we don't want them anymore. We can't take care of them. I called it the oven. As soon as you stepped out of the van, it was literally like you opened up your oven. And it wasn't a humid, moist heat. It was just like you'd been stepped into an oven. This is the boys' home. Some of the dorms. More dogs. This is just some of the people there. This was one of the tough parts to see. Inside the boys' home, you see one cell door, and there are 2 cells in here. When the boys get there for the first 2 weeks, this is Pastor Raul, who takes care of the boys there. It's about 15 boys there. Their first 2 weeks there, they were usually strung out on drugs, heroin, they're addicted to alcohol. They're a danger to themselves or those around them, and it is just the way it is. They have an option to put them in these cells for about 2 weeks, and the cell is about as big as from here to here. very cool. The church from Washington, they brought down 14 suitcases filled up with clothes and shoes for all the boys there. Must have cost thousands and thousands of dollars. One real quick story, there was a boy before this. There's a time I told you last week when we all shared our testimonies, and I stood beside a boy, and they wear everything ragged. They wear everything until there's nothing left in it. And I noticed in one shoe, he had tied it up with fish string, with fishing string. And I don't know, I didn't know what the right thing to do was. We were sitting off in the corner when he wasn't looking. I took off one of my shoestrings, and I looked at him. I said, Mas, only thing I know is that more. I have more shoestrings. You take it. And he said, gracias, muchas gracias. And he went off to the corner and tied up, shoestring. They don't even have shoestring. One of the final shots of the boys playing, having a good time. Well, we're trying to slam dunk, but it's a little deceiving. The hoop's about 6 feet up in the air. And there last is the family, Myra's, her finished house in Sonata. Next week I'll show you some pictures. It'll just be a slideshow, no explanation. Hope that this has given you some view of what I got to see. Once again, I could go on and on, but I'll shut up. And thank you for the opportunity to share this with you. If you'd like to become a member of our church, make a profession of faith, and be baptized, I welcome you to come forward. They're in our hymn of response number 484. We have a story to tell to the nation.